Well, good morning. Hey, it's the middle of July already. Where is this year going? What an exciting weekend. My goodness, would we knew that there would possibly be an attempt on President Trump, and we have been praying, but we need to pray more. We're so thankful that this assassination uh, attempt was only an attempt. We're thankful that no weapon formed against him will prosper. And we're very thankful for all of the saints that are continuing to pray. But I want to speak to you prophetically about this. Very interesting that when a slave decided to stay out of love for their master, the master being God Himself, they would go and they would have ear opened, their ear open. And we know that this bullet that attempted to take President Trump, and let me just say this, everybody's calling him former president. He is the future president. Change your language. He is the future president of the United States. But when this slave would have their ear open, they would take a awl or a sharp pointed instrument and they would go to the doorpost and they would open their ear, and it was a sign that they're going to continue to serve their master out of their love. I believe prophetically as well as physically, Donald John the beloved Trump ear was open on Saturday when this young man attempted to take his life. And this is really key. But here's what I want to help you. Listen, everyone is seeking to point blame. Everyone is wanting to say this, that, or other. Listen, our duty as the ecclesia is to legislate heaven's will into the earth and all of that. It's the same thing we find in Genesis 3:12 when Adam said to God, he said, God, this woman that thou gave me. He wanted to shift the blame. Listen, the blame game is not a kingdom reality. It's not time to find someone to blame for this. It is time to beef up our prayers to another level. It's time for us to stand in the gap. God's looking for those of us that will stand in the gap. And He's looking for those that know how to legislate in the city gate, even as the ecclesia did. And it's time that we press in. I'm going to be doing several short videos this week and just speaking out of things that God is revealing to me. But I want to tell you, for years now, God has had me praying that the Donald become John the Beloved. In one of the dreams that I had back in 2020 was where it was said that he was a man sent from God. He actually texted that or spoke that to Dutch Sheets in a dream. And we believe that he is sent from God. We know that he is sent from God. But it's not time to do this blame game. It's not time to look for the conspiracies. And it's not time to come out with, you prophesied this with it. Listen, I didn't hear any words before it. I was with Dutch Sheets on Friday night as we were in Independence, Missouri, with a lot of Mavericks. And on the way either to the airport or from the airport, when I picked him up, he and I made our conversation about the fact that we were concerned that they were losing in the court system and there would be an attempt on his life. And we've got to keep him covered. Years ago, an internationally known prophet gave me a word that there would be an attempt on my life, a man that I trust. And it was confirmed that afternoon by someone else who had had a vision. And so we begin to move wiser. We begin to move. And that's what we've got to do with President Trump. But I want to tell you, I believe that all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to Christ's purpose. So I believe this is working and bringing those tailor-made clothes of humility to Donald Trump. Not a weakness, not a false humility, but a man of courage, a man of strength, a man of determination, but a man of yielding to God. And I am still decreeing that the man who's been so successful business-wise, is going to become John the Beloved. He's going to draw closer to God in this. His life was spared. We can call it miraculous, we can call it supernatural, but I want to tell you, it was the provision of God that protected him. And I'm so grieved over the fireman who lost his life, the others who were wounded. I hear they're doing better today. I rejoice in that. There's a GoFundMe, and I think almost 4 million has already come in. We need to give into that. We need to support these people. They were there supporting the next president of the United States. You might have already heard, but the judge in the confidential files case dismissed it today. I'm telling you, I believe January 6th is going to go away as well. I don't think they stand a chance. I'm going back to what God said on January the 21st of 2021. He said, I'm just giving them enough rope to hang theirself. I want to tell you, they're hanging theirself. They're in an all-out effort to switch this thing to make that guy in the White House, Biden, to look better than he really is. They don't have the courage to remove him with that, and I believe he will stay in, but we've got to get out and vote. You need to talk to your neighbors. Listen, the number was staggering in 2020 of the church-going Christians that did not vote and wouldn't vote for Trump because he's not a perfect man. We're not voting for a pastor, and we're not voting for a priest. We're voting for a man who is not perfect, but who can get the job done. My trust is not in Donald Trump. My trust is in God's choice. And I know that God wants Donald Trump's heart in greater surrender than it is at this point. And you cannot live through that close a call knowing that, just a little bit of pull to the right would have been a headshot, and it would have been over for Donald Trump, not over for this nation. God can raise up someone else, but God has put his hand on Donald Trump. We knew this from the beginning. I believe that God is working to put these tailor-made clothes of humility on him, and I'm praying that this close call, I've heard him already say that God protected him. Well, I want it to be a heart knowledge, not a head knowledge. I want to see that humility. I don't want him to weaken. Listen, we need his choleric type S personality to go forth, but we also need that humility that's on him. And we need to be praying for the RNC as they meet there this week. It is so important that we stand with them and that their platform be sure, and that we understand. Don't give in to some of this religious garbage that's out there. Listen, abortion should be in the hands of each individual state, the people of those states. That is a republic, and we are a republic. And God is working to return us to function as a republic. Listen, democracy fuels a republic, but when it's all democracy without the republic there, none of the nations who went strictly democracy have lasted. And God put his hand on this nation. I've got a new book here. If you haven't seen it out there, David Hurdle, my friend, just gave this to me. It's a book by Robert Jeffries. Well, anyway, it came from Robert Jeffries. Looked like it's a different, but anyway, it's Miracles in American History. And it's an incredible book, and it's got a lot about our Christian history. You need to get it. There's another one he's wrote about why we're a Christian nation. I'm trying to get my hands on it now. I'm seeing all of you come on here. Jessica, spiritual daughter, God bless you. Bless you. I'm looking forward to being Mountain View in August and be with y'all. I see Carol on here, Donna on here, John, I see you, Michelle, with it. I'm going to just tell you, we've got to focus in, but please move out of this thing. Quit calling him the former president. He's the future president. We got to call those things that are not as though they are. But not only is he the future president, we need to realize that I'm trying to find someone to blame about it. Do they need to thoroughly investigate this, find out what was behind, make sure there was only this young man involved, whatever that's true. But if we camp there, we're going to miss what God is doing. And I hope I'm a voice into your life to get you to focus on the future, not on the past. We cannot change what was done. If there was corruption there, yes, let's get it exposed. But listen, God's already proven in this situation that all things can work together for the good of those who love God and called according to Christ's purpose. In his protection of Donald John the Beloved Trump, he did this, and we're going to have to trust God and pray and intercede and stand in the gap that God will continue to do this. Listen, I am stirred up in faith. Now, let me change horses on you for just a moment. We just finished a month-long trip down the Oregon Trail. God told us to go to Oregon City and come back down 7 stops on the Oregon Trail, gathering mavericks. He told us to begin in Oregon City, actually can be there, and come back down the Oregon Trail because we're going to be covering up, doing away with what Freemasonry and Mormonism did up the Oregon Trail, and we did so. And God's people, unbranded, those that have not allowed the hand of organized religion. Listen, the only religion that is biblical is to feed the orphans and widows who are widows indeed. That's what it's about. We're not a religious people. God is looking for us to be spiritual. He's looking for us to stand in the gap. He's looking for us. So we just did these 7 stops. In the original dream, there were 12. So next year, we're already beginning to plan another 5 stops on the Oregon Trail. But next year, we're going to go to the First Nation reservation that are on the Oregon Trail or near the Oregon Trail. And it's going to be a great time. I know we'll have people join with us. Maybe you want to be a part of it. Maybe you want to sow a seed now. If you mark it for the Oregon Trail, it will go towards the expenses. If I told you the expense of this, it would stagger you what we just did. And we tried to hold the cost as close as we could. But I want to tell you, we got it done. People were touched. Dutch flew in to be with us in Independence, released an incredible message about wisdom, revelation, spiritual understanding, and that's where we are. Listen, it's not wisdom with spiritual understanding to be trying to find someone to blame for this attempted assassination of Donald John the Beloved Trump. What we've got to focus on is what we can do to continue to build that hedge of protection, to have that angel armies around him, and to be a part of it. And so I wanted to come to you this morning. I'm stirred up. I'm going to work this week to do several of these. Remember, today at 2:22, we're going to be on the Josiah Company call. We need you on there with us. The number is 719-718-6038. Join with us on that call. Tomorrow night, we're going to be pressing in. We're going to be praying over the RNC convention. We're going to be pressing in with that. We're going to be covering everyone there for their safety, but we're also going to ask that there will be wisdom, revelation, and spiritual understanding released. And we're asking that God will continue to work on clothing Donald John the Beloved Trump with the clothes of humility, which are tailor made. And so I'm seeing Gail from Kansas. I'm seeing James, Marcia, Peggy, Carla, Charlene. I'm seeing all of you on here. Thank you for being on. Continue to pray for us. Continue to stand with us. All of the Gathering the Maverick are out there. We had a little bit of difficulty with sound on Friday night, but it's trying, but you can hear it. We're working to get all of the words, prophetic words that were released, transcribed. I'm hoping I released a word over the Mavericks Friday night, right at the end of it. I'm hoping to have that transcribed today. And so we're going to put it out on the website, claynash.org. Now, listen to me. If you were in any of the meetings, from Canby, we went to Baker City. From Baker City, we went to Boise. From Boise, we went to Soda Springs. From Soda Springs, we went to Casper. And from Casper, we went to Kearney, and from Kearney to Independent. If you were in any of these meetings, would you write us? You can write team, TEAM, at claynash.org or claynash at claynash.org. Write us what you received. Write this. If you got a healing talk with us, if you got in hope about the prodigal coming home, write us. Let us know what you experienced in these meetings. We need this. We need to memorialize it. We're going to be doing some things. After we're gonna work on writing a book, Stirring Up Glory Dust on the Oregon Trail, and so we want to put out. Other people need to read your experiences, what you and we're going to want to use these. So email us, put your name, which meeting you were in, give us the details of what you experienced. We know that we know that several of you receive not just healing, but some creative healing. In the last part of the dreams, it talked about an ox named Signs and Wonders. And it talked about Gordon Lindsay there and about some healing. Listen, there is a healing move. Last thing I want to say, remember, coming up August the 30th at Tim Sheets up in Middletown, Oasis Church there, we're going to be hosting a healing summit. And if you're part of a congregation, you need to go to your pastor. If you lead a congregation, you need to stream that in that night. And then when it comes time to pray for the sick, you and your leaders, the leaders of that congregation, need to pray for the sick. There is a healing wave waiting to be released in this nation, and you need to be a part of it. We need you. Listen, it's a tipping point, August the 30th. It's a tipping point of healing, and we need to press into that. Last thing, this coming Friday night, I've forgotten the dates. Let me check on those. It'll be the 19th and 20th. We've got Vanessa Hollandwell is going to be here activating your prophetic birthright here at the Eagle's Nest, North Arkansas. We're 20 minutes from Branson, Missouri, 20 minutes from Harrison, Arkansas. And we're going to be this tremendous gift, and her husband are coming to be here with us. And so Friday night at 7, Saturday morning at 9. And we're going to be pressing into activating prophetic birthrights. It's going to be a tremendous meeting. Yes, we will be live streaming it. And in live streaming it, you'll be able to watch. But if you're in the area, come and join with us. Got Steve McEwen coming in to help us with worship. And it's just going to be a tremendous time as we do that this weekend. And we bless you. Also on Sunday, the 21st of July, we're kicking off here in North Arkansas the Ecclesia meeting. Not an ecclesia meeting, but the ecclesia. You, as the legislative branch of God Church, are part of it. It's going to be at 6 o'clock at the Eagle's Nest. That's at 70 7053 Pin Oak Lane, Omaha. 7053 Pin Oak Lane, going to be at 6 o'clock. We're going to assemble here and we're going to kick off the Ecclesia meeting this coming Sunday night, July the 21st, 6 p.m. Be with us. God bless you all. I'm still seeing some others that have come on. I see a Faye, a Crystal, a Carla. Join with us, be a part of all this that's going on. And we're excited about you being a part of our life, and we're excited. But begin to pray for next year, 2025, Oregon Trail on the First Nation Reservation along the Oregon Trail. God bless you. See you there, Nancy from Alabama. Blessings to you as well. See you, my friend Mark. And we stand with you. God bless you. God bless you. Listen, don't get caught up in this blame game. I'm even seeing some prophetic voices. It's not about the blame game. This woman that thou gavest me, Lord. No, come on. Let's take responsibility, press in, and continue to guard the future president of the United States, Donald John the Beloved Trump, and guard him with our prayers, guard him with our decrees, and see that hedge of protection established around him. God bless you. We'll be on some more this week. Join us today at 2:22 for our call.